Good morning, guys. I was just thinking about how we, as people, often, watch these videos, whether it's movies or tarot or cartoons, but we do it because we think that there's something missing, or we feel like there's something missing. Maybe not all those shows, but I think when you can be honest with yourself and ask yourself what it is that you feel like you might be missing, then you can kind of harness that energy and decide to give it to yourself now. Whether that's like approval or connection, or if you feel bored, allow yourself to feel entertained. And you have to kind of drop, you have to allow the feelings to transmute and believe. That's literally, I know it doesn't sound believable, but if you believe and just do the work, even if it seems like you're crazy, then you'll start seeing results. And you don't try to explain it to people because you can't argue with nature. I don't know why that was coming up, but it seems like a lot of things are kind of in the air this morning, and it's a dark sky, like lots of storms. But let's get a reading out today, see what we got. One for growth, not drama. We don't really care. There's always going to be somebody attacking, somebody thinking something, calling it black magic, somebody actually doing black magic, having ill intent. We don't care about that because there's always going to be there. So why stagnate yourself and focus on that? Like, let's just focus on upward growth. And even if you're here for growth, can you just give yourself that growth already? Can the extension of you being nature be that growth? Can everything just be always growing, always sprouting, always learning and seeing more of who we are? I'd like to get a deck, please, for the collective. My eyes got fuzzy looking at that for a minute. It was like 11, but looks like it's going to 9. 9. We journey to the Oz and Wonderland Tarot deck. I love this deck. Do we want a second clarifier deck? No? Are you sure? Okay, so no other deck. All right. Six of Wands on the bottom, Dorothy's triumph. What if you didn't have to be winning to be in that energy? Remember, I used to kind of was like that when I was graduating high school, and I was kind of like just super happy, and I had a lot of spiritual experiences around that time, and my friends didn't. And so there was kind of a discord. But I remember my brother literally like grabbing me by the shirt and like screaming God's name in vain and like saying, "Get off your high horse, scale." I don't know why that's coming up too, because no matter what, there's always going to be opposition. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't believe. And we have the Hierophant and the Queen of Cups. Who are you? I like to shuffle my cards like multiple times. And the worst part about it, it's kind of like a Virgo thing, I think. But I like to do it like, even after I clean up, I'm going to shuffle them just as many times, which is like 5 different shuffles or something. We got something wanting to be seen. Let's see what it is. We have the moon. Ew. We have 5 of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Star, 4 of Cups, and 3 of Wands and the Moon. It does feel like kind of like the opposition, or so. I don't know, this Humpty Dumpty. He sat on a wall, he had a great fall. And that's what happens when you try to like just noticing there's like these stained glass windows all over this card. 4 of them. 4 stained glass windows and 5 eggs. But dang, he can't be that sad. He's clearly juggling like 5 eggs with his mind. He's just, I don't know. We're not going to keep this out though. But there's the Star. And it's like this Emperor is looking over here, like seeing this. Could be the Star looking over there and seeing this. And clearly not interested because we don't care and we're turning the other way and looking at the chest valley. And the Moon, it's kind of like we don't really know until we take a step. We don't really know until you can predict so many moves in the future, but you don't really know until you go down that lane. Or oh, and on the bottom we have the Devil. That's wonderful. And Ace of Swords. Oh, let's shuffle some of these back in. It's like 7 minutes, I haven't even pulled a card. Alright, that's good enough. I think they're sufficiently shuffled. Maybe I'll shuffle off screen. We have 7 of Cups, Gnome King's Ornaments, and 3 of Pentacles on the oh, that was just a bottom card. 3 of Pentacles, Dorothy's Rescue. Alright, let's see what the message is. Try to make it quick. We got the Ace of Swords, the Lion, and the Unicorn. Oh, that's the 5 of Swords. Lion and the Unicorn. And we have the 2 of Wands and the King of Cups. We have the 4 of Pentacles, the Wicked Witch's Possessions, and we have the 9 of Cups. It does seem like this 5 of Swords. Usually there's somebody walking away from the battlefield, and there are swords on the ground and some stuck in the ground. This almost gives like like ancestors or something doing spiritual, I don't want to say warfare, but maybe they're just bettering each other by pushing each other a little bit further every time. And just that just came to me, and I was at the pool like last week swimming with my husband, and I kept doing these little challenges like who can swim, swim, it wasn't who can, but swim as far as you can underwater. It's something that I've always liked to do as a kid. But then swimming is like with the emotions, it literally is like you're swimming in a pool, so why hold on to one little wave, or which is just an emotion. And I don't know, the King of Cups, he just swims. He just lets it flow and go. And the Two of Wands came out with the King of Cups. Enchanted Forest. And I'm being reminded of, I think the Everyday Witch deck also has like apples on, I think it has apples on the path too. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. Why does that not seem like the Four of Pentacles? It is. And the Nine of Cups. I don't know. Let's clarify some of this. We have the Two of Pentacles on the bottom. It's like two different, feels like two different realities. Maybe like mixing the spirit realm with the 3D. Page of Wands. And Metamorphosis is upside down. None of my cards are ever upside down. Page of Wands. And this card always trips me out because it looks like a gesture, and it like has two heads, like a head growing off the head. Guess we'll put that over there. I don't know what that's about yet. But it does seem like they're doing something. Justice. So there's some kind of like battle. Some people have left. Maybe it's still going on. This King of Cups is going down his own path. He's probably the one that left the swords there. And he's not interested. I think he's happy with what he has. That's what this is. Happy with what he has. She, he, whatever archetype. And then the Page of Wands is like creating. See all the like the wind behind him and the sun solar flare ball thing. And then we have justice. So it's like he's creating his own justice by just being, maybe. Let's clarify the Five of Swords and this King of Cups. Two of Wands combo. Whoa. Whoa. We had another card come upside down. Let's see. We have Death. That's a lot. We have Metamorphosis again. It actually came out like that. Eight of Pentacles, Metamorphosis. The Magician and the Hanged Man. Wow. And what was this card? We have on the bottom King of Wands, and this Moon card was on, fell out. I'll put it on the bottom. I guess this feels like when you do drop the swords, sometimes it feels like a death because you may be leaving behind people, truths. Those swords, I always think of swords as truths. Also pentacles sometimes. But definitely letting an older part of yourself go, an old identity. could be that a unicorn identity or a lion, or just you're just done fighting. Maybe you didn't even know you were fighting. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Apparently these are going right under these. That's what I'm being told. And it looks like it. So the King of Wands at work. Making a feast. Dang, he looks like, doesn't he look like he ready for that feast? He has people making feasts for him. That's how like abundant he is. And we have the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. And I was just talking about how abundant he is. He doesn't, maybe he doesn't define abundance as having money, as being given money, as having, maybe he has a lot of money, you don't know. But maybe he is just lives in like a self-built little shack or something, and he's just happy. He's just Nine of Cups in it, metamorphosis. So he changed from the Four of Pentacles. I think he's just happy with what he has and deems that as being abundant, because the universe is always here supporting us and giving us exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. And I know it's like some dreams, especially, I don't know, I don't want to say especially, probably most humans, but freedom, money, relationships. But when you can stop like wanting all that stuff and just truly like be happy, then happy with kind of what you have, and realize that like whatever's happening here right now is already your wish fulfillment. It is. And even if you don't see it, like what would your wish fulfillment feel like? And could you just allow that to be now? Without having all the possessions, without having physical proof, is what I'm getting at. Then you have the Magician, the Page of Wands. So it's literally like using your mind, creating what you want, being the abundance that you seek, creating your own justice, being your own justice, and then like literally just getting a whole different perspective on like everything we see is what's already been played out, I guess, what already is. We have the Moon really wanted to come out where it's going underneath this Five of Swords and the Death. Interesting. Cheshire Cat. Can we clarify this Moon card, please? Oh, dang, that's a lot again. These cards are talkative today. So let's see. First, these two came out together. Maybe that's all. But we have the Five of... Oh, nope, that's the Six of Swords and the Empress. The Moon. So it literally feels like whatever aspect died, or I want to even say reincarnated, metamorphosis into resting and creating. The Empress, being at peace, literally being at peace. And then over here, let's see, I do have a couple cards upside down. We have the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups. It is upside down, but I'm going to flip it over, as well as the Hermit. That does feel like opposing kind of energy, just because. Oh, there's the Four of Cups, Four of Pentacles. I'm getting the same vibe with the Four of Pentacles. This I'm getting the exact same vibe with this Four of Cups, and then this Four of Pentacles with this Nine of Cups. It's like he's truly just not interested, and this is coming out underneath that with the Temperance. I'm not going to take these ones. Does feel like this could be whatever was going on in this card, because we have the 5 of Cups. Sorry, 4 of Cups, 2 of Cups, a lot of emotions, inner searching or just searching, and then we have the 4 of Cups. I think if we laid these out again, that this Hermit is the King of Cups, is this 8 of Cups, is this 2 of Wands, and the Temperance. Temperance is this Hangman, 4 of Cups, kind of like we're just happy. On the bottom we have 7 of Swords. Ew. But 7 of Swords is also like, is reclaiming, being strategic about your growth, being strategic about not telling everybody your business, being strategic about who you let in your life and who's close to you, and just talking about the water earlier and letting it go and flow. Those swords are stuck down in the water in the like bottom. That guy might fish one up if he's lucky, but if he's lucky, I mean, if you're really fishing for a story, you can build one, especially if you're a carpenter, huh? But the walrus seems to know, like, witness it and let it go. 8 of Wands. Alright, so let's get something for this line, please. With the King of Cups. Oh, shuffling again. That's okay. The King of Cups. We have 2. The Lovers and the 3 of Pentacles. I like that there's some lightning here on this card because it's so stormy today. It was the 3 of Pentacles. It's like as above, so below. Dorothy's rescue. And you have the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion working together. The Lovers. Dorothy and the Scarecrow. I don't know. This is somehow saying to me that the King of Cups didn't do it all on his own. He had his friends. And I'm going to be honest, that's how I feel about tarot in general, is that like I went through something similar to what this energy is saying, where I had to let go of friends and family and identities and habits and patterns, and I just healed and did a ton of inner work. And I don't think I could have did it without the tarot community. I feel like I'm getting emotional because it started with like Kim, I'm trying to remember her last name, but she was on my feed because I was watching Abraham Hicks stuff, and then she showed up and I had never really even knew what tarot was, and she was kind of like doing tarot but trying messages of hope, and I was like, it was just really resonating with me. And then moving forward, I started watching, like, I think Madison, you just YouTube tarot, because she had stopped doing, Kim had stopped doing it, so I YouTube tarot, and started watching like Madison and some of the other readers that pop up fairly easily in the algorithm, and those were very interesting. It was new, it was exciting to me. And then I found Through Lynn's Eyes, and the first read that he did, it just like, that I had watched of his, it just literally like broke my heart, because it told me all, it basically showed me I wasn't crazy, and how ugly some people can be, or their actions can be. But yeah, then I got into Empress Ava, and I think every tarot reader and everybody doesn't do tarot, and even the people who in my life that like are deemed as ops or whatever, they are all here for a reason, have a purpose, and for being part of my story, they have helped me grow by pushing me to grow. And wow, that's what I was getting from this card, is that like our ops aren't really ops. They're there to push us. And you know, I really love Bashar's teachings, and one of the things he talks about is like Judas, I think, who betrayed Jesus. Bashar just talks about how Jesus told him that he would. Like, it's all our reality. So if this is my reality, then the people that have done me wrong in my life, I had a contract with them in some sort that could play out. And yeah, and it's weird because I had, like, when I fell into that cult, those people were basically kind of using that against me, like saying that like everything that's happening here is just to help you grow. And it's true, but it doesn't excuse them lying to me and betraying me, in my opinion. I mean, I think they could have been honest about what was going on. I don't know. Regardless, though. Oh, let's see what we got here. We have the Seven of Pentacles landed upside down. This is how I felt after watching Lynn, especially the first time. And I watched him for a long time. And Empress Ava, she would also like make me feel seen. And she would bitch him out for me, which is like validating. I don't really need that validation anymore, and I don't really believe in black magic anymore. I mean, I do, because I think everything is possible and everything's happening right now. So, oh, we have another card upside down. Oh, another seven of wands. So the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. So it feels like somebody who's like tending to their growth, but they're having to stand their ground. Well, isn't that just the shit? And we have the Queen of Swords on showing, and the Knight of Cups. And this Knight of Cups in this deck he just has a punchable face a little bit. He just looks like he's up to something, the more chair. Well, oh, I was kind of saying about like, I don't know, all the tarot readers, I love them all, and I think they all have their purpose. But for me personally, I don't look into black magic and the drama anymore, because it's literally focusing on those swords in the bottom of the lake, wherever that card is. Maybe it was a bottom card, the walrus and the four. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, focusing on, it's like a kid falling and scratching his knee, and then focusing on that scratch, because I don't know. And there's your Page of Cups. Button bright. Whenever this card comes out, it just feels like, I don't know, a child, like a spirit child, especially with the like halo around his head. Anyways, I was just talking about different levels of vibration, and that everything plays a part. And one of my dreams was to have a child for God, and then I had kind of just given up on that, because I had a bunch of miscarriages, and I don't know. And then I realized that that's not really gone, that the child that I want to bring into this world is me, is my inner child, and that I'm basically, you, like they say, you have to heal yourself before you can heal others, or love yourself before you can really love others. And I feel like really I had to reparent myself and love myself like a little newborn. Like truly give yourself the validation and listen. Listen to yourself and just be playful and let the magic just flow. And that's funny because right above we have the magician, and like I said, it looks like this guy's doing something with all that dirt behind him and the sun fireball thing. Feels like he's doing all that. And then let's see. We'll get one more card for, or at least whatever. We have the Ace of Swords came out. So then we have the Justice, Hangman, the Ace of Swords, looking at something, seeing the truth. That we create our own happiness, I think. Let's see, we have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. I'm just going to wrap this up here, but we have Justice, so you create your own justice by dropping the fight, by giving yourself those emotions that you're seeking to feel, and I think that's part of this doing the work, Two of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. Going within, doing the work, letting the emotions, just witnessing the emotions and stop claiming they're yours. You know, like when somebody's sad, they don't sit there and say, I mean, they actually do. When somebody says, what's wrong? And they say, I'm sad, but that's not true. You're not sad. You're feeling sad. And I was watching another reader that I really like, CCC Readings, just because he kind of talks off the wall a little bit like I do. But he was talking about, I think today, about, dang, I'm going to lose my thought here. It feels like. Oh, I don't know, but what came of it was that, like, we are not the, it was, so what is it all when everything's mixed together? And I don't know, I just, to feel death and aliveness at the same time, those are just two polar opposites of the exact same energy. And so what would it feel to feel those? I mean, really, once you take away the names and the definition names and such, it's just energy. And there is, like, you know, in the Matrix, when the kid's bending the spoon and he's like, there is no spoon. Well, there is no body, there is no you, there is just this, and it feels very real, but it is not. It is not. On the bottom we have Queen of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Pentacles. So I think, like, I don't know if there's something else. I don't really have room up here. But we'll get something on this Ace of, this last line. Justice, the Hangman, and the Ace of Swords. Can we get something for the Ace of Swords, please? Because it feels like truth, or like a new story. And I think that's kind of what, like, the inner child is creating. And that is going right diagonal from the Eight of Pentacles, metamorphosis. Like I was saying, become your inner child. But what's the sword? We have the King of Pentacles. Wow. Pretty cool. And he is very earthly. So, I mean, he is the King of Pentacles, but his, like, legs are made over rocks. And that just reminds me of a reading I did on here, maybe the day before yesterday or something, where it was like the crown. There was a crown, so it's literally like, treat yourself like royalty. And we have the sun here. And when those readings come up that say, like, you were this in Egypt, be like, cool. You know, like, you don't have to deny it. You don't have to, just, what would it feel like? Why expand? Why not? I don't know, I just like this, the Fool and the Sun. It's just like, just be, let the sun kiss your skin. And I don't know, trust in, just don't trust in what you see, trust in what you feel. And I literally feel like the more delusional you are, the better. But if you do feel delusional or anything, definitely get help. Or whatever you feel like you need to do. I don't know. I guess that's the reading. It just seems like treat everybody with fairness, because we're all going to the same place and we're all helping each other go to the same place. And this is like one of the graduate schools. So treat it like that. Start treating your enemies as like one of your best partners in crime almost, because they're going to be the ones that really push you to grow. It's not going to be the person that's sitting right next to you, like, unless, you know, they create some kind of competition, like maybe a spelling bee or something, you know, where you push each other to grow and be better. That's the exact same thing, on just different scale or different vibrational reality. But just let go of needing to figure it out, and let everything reflect love back to you. And I guess when you go to the mirror, don't expect to see a smile. You have to smile before the mirror smiles back. So that's exactly how it is in life. If you're going to sit there and be angry about stuff, that's what you're going to get back, because life is a mirror. And if it can be treated like that, then like the more you give out positive energy, the more you'll get back. The more you smile, the more you'll get back, and vice versa. The more you delve down into wherever that card is, I think it was just in the deck somewhere, like delve down into the depths of the water to fish up those swords and those old stories, even if you let them go once, that's not gonna lead you. That's like leading into the darkness almost. And the dark isn't good. The dark is part of what is, and it's part of what this creation is. And yin yang can't be a yin yang without the dark side. But it doesn't mean it's evil. That's just some word definition. Like if you strip all that away, it is just energy. Alright. I love you guys. I hope this resonates. I hope everybody has a good Friday and stays happy and healthy. Alright, love you guys. Bye.